Academy Stars. Pupils Book 4 by Alison Blair and Jane Cadwallader. Published by Macmillan Education, a division of Macmillan Publishers Limited. Copyright Macmillan Publishers Limited, 2017. CD 2. Track 2.1. Unit 4. Lesson 1. Activity 1. Chef. Photographer. Nurse. Dentist. Businessman. Businesswoman. Police officer. Plumber. Lawyer. Artist. Engineer. Track 2.2. Unit 4. Lesson 1. Activity 2.
Chef. Photographer. Nurse.
Dentist.
Police officer. Plumber. Lawyer.
Artist.
Now you. 1. Businesswoman. Police officer. Plumber. 2. Plumber. Lawyer. Artist. 3. Engineer. Chef. Photographer. 4. Dentist. Businessman. Police officer. 5. Lawyer. Artist. Engineer. 6. Photographer. Nurse. Dentist.
Track 2.3. Unit 4. Lesson 1. Activity 5. What do you want to be?
What do you want to be? Look around and you can see lots of jobs for you, for me. So tell me what you want to be. Do you want to be a nurse? Always giving a helping hand. Do you want to be a police officer fighting crime across the land? What do you want to be? Look around and you can see lots of jobs for you, for me. So tell me what you want to be. Do you want to be a businessman and wear lots of fancy ties? Do you want to be an engineer and build a new high-rise? What do you want to be? What do you want? Look around and you can see lots of jobs for you, for me. So tell me what you want to be. Do you want to be a dentist?
Track 2.4 Unit 4 Lesson 2 Activity 3 Julia's creative cooking.
Me and my cafe. I'm Julia Chambers and I'm a chef. I own the Creative Cooking Cafe. I love my job and think working here is fun and interesting. My customers like my creative cooking style. My cafe is next to Colchester Hospital, so many of my customers are doctors, nurses and dentists. They like to try something different, like my recipe for chicken with coconut and lime. The businesswomen and businessmen from nearby offices are easy to please. They love my salads and say my apple pie is delicious. But some of the cafe's visitors prefer uncreative food. My friend Molly is an artist, and she comes here every day and says to the waiter, "Tell Julia I don't want her creative food. Give me a plate of egg and chips." Everyone is welcome at the Creative Cooking Cafe, so if you want to find out what's on the menu, please stop by.
Firefighter Joe. A surprise rescue. Many people think firefighters only fight fires, but we do a lot more. Every day is different in our job. Some days are more exciting and more dangerous than others. But today, something funny happened. We answered a call from a worried neighbour. When we arrived, we found a little boy sitting at the top of a tree looking very unhappy. The neighbour was below the tree and shouted up, "Don't worry, Jake. The firefighters are here." We got out our ladder and I climbed up to the boy. I asked him, "What are you doing up here?" He looked at me sadly and said, "I came up to rescue my kitten. It was stuck in the tree." "Oh," I said. "And where is your kitten now?" The boy pointed to a little grey kitten sitting by the front door of the house. "Well," I smiled, "I think you could be a good firefighter one day, but you need to learn to climb big trees." The little boy laughed, and I carried him down to his mother. Track 2.5 Unit 4 Lesson 3 Activity 4 An actor, a police officer, and a bus driver all sitting in a tractor.
An actor, a police officer, and a bus driver, all sitting in a tractor.
Now say the missing words. A police officer and a bus driver all sitting in a tractor.
An actor.
An actor and a bus driver all sitting in a tractor.
A police officer.
An actor, a police officer, and a all sitting in a tractor.
A bus driver.
An actor, a police officer, and a bus driver all sitting.
In a tractor.
Track 2.6 Unit 4 Lesson 3 Activity 5 1. November N O V E M B E R. November. 2. Doctor. D O C T O R. Doctor. 3. Farmer. F A R M E R. Farmer. 4. Computer. C O M P U T E R. Computer. 5. Tractor. T R A C T O R. Tractor. 6. Visitor. V I S I T O R. Visitor. Track 2.7. Unit 4. Lesson 5. Activity 1.
Is that your dad's jacket?
Yes, it is. He's a zookeeper, so I know lots about animals. Ask me a question.
Okay. What do you think is the most dangerous animal in the world?
The mosquito. I think mosquitoes are the most dangerous.
And what do you think is the most beautiful animal?
Well, I think peacocks are really beautiful.
What about the most colourful animal?
Well, some frogs are very colourful.
And what about the most interesting animal?
There's a kind of crab that's very unusual.
Wow! You know so much about animals. I'd love to go to your dad's zoo.
Track 2.8. Unit 4. Lesson 6. Activities 1 and 2.
Grandpa, were you always a businessman?
No. I had other jobs too.
So what other jobs did you do before?
Yes, Grandpa. Please start at the beginning. What did you do when you left school?
I was an artist. Yes, I enjoyed it a lot. It was very creative and exciting, but I wasn't very good.
So what did you do next?
Well, after that, I worked in a cafe as a cook. It was called the Welcome Inn, but I didn't like it at all. I had to make the same food every day, and it wasn't good food. It was very boring. Much more boring than being an artist.
So did you stop working there?
Yes, I did. My father had a farm, and I went to work with him. I worked on the farm for many years. Working on a farm can be exciting sometimes when you try new things, but it's very tiring. I didn't mind it. It was okay. I wanted to help my dad, and it was more interesting than working at the Welcome Inn.
And then in the end, you decided to become a businessman.
Yes, Being a businessman was my last job. I started Wheelchairs for the Future when I was old. I wanted new technology to help people, so I became a businessman and made wheelchairs. I really loved doing that job.
Well, it was a brilliant idea. I love your wheelchair.
Track 2.9 Unit 4 Lesson 6 Activity 3
Would you like to be a farmer?
No, I wouldn't. I think I'd like to be an artist. It's more creative. What about you?
Yes, I think I would. But what I'd really like to be is a businessman. I think it's the most interesting job.